Hello, I'm Matt Rednauer with Great River Human Resources, and thank you for joining us today for leveraging abilities for successful staffing strategies. Today we have with us Jenny Miller, Director of Community Employment with the ARC of the Quad Cities, Meg Fouts, Director of Human Resources for Electrofreeze, and Beth McKenna, Director of Food Services for Rock Island Milan School District. They will discuss the benefits of hiring a diverse workforce and the real-life impact this brings to business. The ARC's Community Employment Department has provided staffing solutions to the Quad City area for over 25 years and specializes in disability employment. Jenny will start us off by talking about the different strategies that can be used when working with agencies such as the ARC, and Meg and Beth will explain the unique partnerships and why this works for them and their organizations. And Jenny, I will let you take it from there.
Great. Thank you, Matt. So first of all, I'd like to speak a little bit about a little bit about myself. And I, of course, am as Matt said, the Community Employment Director with the ARC. I have about 7 years of experience in human resources management, mostly in the field of hospitality and food service. And I've been in about 6 years with the Disability Employment Services. I have a bachelor's degree in business management with a specialization in human resources, and I'm also on the local workforce development board. So a little bit about the ARC. The ARC, our mission statement is to empower people with disabilities to believe in their own unique abilities and achieve their full potential by providing quality, innovative services that focus on advocacy, independence, employment, meaningful community life, and personal happiness. And of course, the employment component is what we're here today to talk about. So a little bit more specifically about what we do in community employment. As far as employers are concerned, we offer staffing solutions for you. One option is direct placement. We can provide job candidates for open positions. And you may have actually had job candidates referred from us before, but you may not have realized that they were working through the ARC until you set up an interview. Sometimes that's not always evident. We provide up to 90 days of on-the-job supports. We can provide sensitivity training to staff, supervisory training for direct supervisors, and support for any job-related performance issue that can arise. One of the other options that we offer is long-term and temporary staffing. We provide the staff, the supervision, and the payroll services. We can provide sensitivity etiquette training to staff. We find it usually works best in a group setting. Some of the other business solutions that are offered by ARC Industries are secure document shredding, custom box orders, die cutting services, small parts assembly, and packaging services. And those are things that we do at our location in Rock Island. So I'll turn it over to Meg next, and she's going to tell you specifically how the ARC works with HC Duke and Son Electrofreeze and the services that we provide for them. You can hear this obviously from her point of view, and she'll tell you a little bit about why they made the decision that they did.
Thanks, Jenny. Did you want me to read my bio?
Oh, I can read that. Meg is the Director of Human Resources with HC Duke and Son. She holds a bachelor's in psychology from the University of Northern Iowa and a master's in organizational management with a specialization in human resources management from Ashford University. She's been in the HR field for over 10 years. Prior to working in HR, Meg worked in social services with adjudicated children and later with adults with disabilities. Meg is passionate about volunteering within the Quad Cities. Excuse me. She's passionate about volunteering within the Quad Cities community. She serves on the board of directors for Dress for Success, and has since 2018. She's currently the board president and has been an active volunteer within that organization since 2014. Meg also serves as a mentor with Lead Her.
Thanks, Jenny. A little bit about who we are. We are H.C. Duke & Son. We do business as Electro-Freeze. We are located in East Moline. We manufacture frozen treat machines, and we pioneered the first pressurized soft serve ice cream freezer in 1946 for Dairy Queen. You can find our products here locally, nationally, and internationally. Some of the clients that we have: Dairy Queen, Sonic, Arby's, Five Guys, and then more locally owned Lago Marcinos, Los Agaves, and here's the scoop. So it's not easy to talk about why we chose to partner with the ARC without talking about the labor market. So as many of us know, there have been a lot of fluctuations in the labor market over the past few years. We've been partnered with the ARC for more than a year and are happy to continue that partnership. We reached out to them because we were struggling to bring in talent, right? So that struggle led to increased costs of hiring, training, and then production backlogs. The majority of our positions that we have are actually skilled labor positions, and where we really struggled was in our lower skilled positions, even using staffing agencies, and that led to us reaching out to the ARC to see what kind of solutions they have for us. Next slide, please. So May of 2022 is when we reached out to the ARC. The ARC provides us with 2 individuals and a job coach. They work 6 hours per day, Monday through Friday. And the individuals from the ARC are trained in a variety of lower skilled tasks that we have, such as peeling laser tape from machines once they come off our laser and go through our press break. So we have an employee assigned to keep work in front of them, and then the job coach will work with that employee to let them know if the individuals run out of work. And that's how we've been able to cross-train the folks from the ARC on a variety of different tasks. Next slide, please. Thank you. So once we determined that we were interested in exploring how the ARC could help us, Jenny and some other ARC employees came out and walked through the facility with us. So they made an initial assessment of the areas in which we were looking to partner with them to fill our needs, and just to see if they were the right solution for us. So we discussed the different types of placements and decided at that time we were most comfortable with bringing in individuals and a job coach. We were initially concerned with how our employees would respond to having individuals from the ARC here. And really the larger concern was, sensitivity, or manufacturing environment can be known for people being maybe not watching what they say, or being a little lax in their filter, their brain to mouth filter. So Jenny and I spoke about providing some training to the department where the folks from the ARC would be placed. So they did come on site and provided that training. And honestly, we have had 0 problems. So I really think that initial training really just kind of helped people understand and understand what we were doing, and just how to interact with the folks from the ARC. And the ARC has been wonderful as far as responsiveness to any of the needs that we have. Next slide, please. So what are the benefits of partnering with the ARC. The individuals from the ARC are reliable, engaged, they're consistent, and I would say that they're routinely happy to be here. Where we still have them in, peeling the laser tape, but that would be a position where we would put some of our lower skilled employees or brand new employees. And what the ARC can do in 6 hours, it would take some of our employees multiple days. So they just have a tendency to work harder and faster than many of our full-time employees. The relationships that our employees and the individuals from the ARC have established have been personally valuable. So I've had employee feedback that they're just happy to be at work when they get to spend time with the folks from the ARC. It has created, I guess, a sense of better morale at work. How can I come to work and be unhappy when we have people here that maybe they would consider to have disadvantages that they don't have, and are happy to be here. So it's really been a great environment for both parties. And when we've needed additional workers from the ARC and additional job coaches, they have been very responsive and provided additional people with very little notice when we've had new projects or extra projects. So I know some concerns from people in the community when we've talked about our partnership have been, do the folks have behavioral issues and how is that managed? I will say that we have not had any behavioral issues in our facility. That was one of the reasons that we decided to use the job coach with the individuals. And to be honest, I mean, there may be times where they have requested or needed more attention than a typical day, but that could be true for any of my employees or, any of the folks in HR management and probably think off the top of their head of their high maintenance employees that they have. So, if you really sit down and think about it, it's really not any more than anyone else. One of our challenges that we've had as a management team and our partnership with the ARC is helping employees understand the additional value that the ARC can add to our workforce. So they see the ARC as they peel the laser tape and they do these certain jobs, and we keep pushing and asking, what can the ARC do? They could do more. We don't know what their full potential is because we have some challenges with getting people on board with trying to give them some new tasks. So that is one area where we're still working, and I hope to in the future speak to the different training that we've been able to provide to our individuals placed here from the ARC so that they're working in some higher skilled positions. So trying to determine if partnering with the ARC is right for your company, just look at your needs. Do you have gaps that the ARC may be able to fill? And if you think that they can fill those gaps, I would recommend meeting with Jenny and reaching out and seeing if it's worth it or if that's the right move for you. If ARC is not your current solution, Jenny talked about some of the other services they provide in the community. We not only utilize their staffing solutions, but we also use the ARC for shredding services, and I found it to be very affordable. And we just wanted to include some photos of some of our folks that work with us here. They attended our open house. We treat them just like we would treat any employee that works here. So it is truly a wonderful partnership, and we look forward to many more years to come.
So our next speaker is with Rock Island Milan School District, and I may have, here we go. Beth has led school nutrition programs along with school nutrition professionals for 8 years. She is a passionate leader and trainer who takes pride in supporting those around her through effective communication, collaboration, and innovation. Beth is currently the Director of Nutrition Services for Rock Island Milan School District number 41, which is a K through 12 school district in Rock Island. She's the current 2023-2024 president of the Illinois School Nutrition Association and has sat on several committee positions throughout her career. So, Beth, would you like for me to back up to the previous slide? Oh, you're on mute.
Thank you. Yes. Could you back up just a moment, please?
Yeah.
Oh, there's my friends. So, I love these guys. There's nothing that there's so much positivity I can say for each one. I started about, 8 years ago, I think, as a director. And when I started, we had one special friend, and then I met Sue, and we started growing more and more. Some of the positive things that have come out of it would be, and actually, can you go to the third slide? Thank you. So some of the positives, this is, can I say names? I don't know if I can say names.
First name.
Okay, good. This is Skylar. He's at one of our elementary schools, and this little guy comes in every morning. He doesn't work until lunch, but he'll be there by like 8 or 9 in the morning. And he hangs out in the cafeteria. He even volunteers in the hallways and whatnot if they need him. But they just provide a diverse, trying to read my slides here, a diverse group within our environment. It's not just anybody that we work with. We work with all kinds of people in different physical and mental capacities, and everybody has their strengths to add to our business. We never worry about them not showing up for work. They're always very honest and truthful with us. We do a great job of developing relationships with them, and they enjoy coming to work. And when they go somewhere else during our off times, they always come back and say, "Hey, I went and worked here. And they want me to come back, but I'm going to stay here. I really love it here." So that makes me feel good too. But the fact that they enjoy it so much is a huge win on both sides. So can you go to the next one? All right. So these ladies, we originally started out just as dishwashers, because you really need to get the idea of someone's personality and passion and what they really love to do every time they come into work. So on the right, I have Carrie. I've had Carrie for a really long time. I just worked with her yesterday, and she comes up and she's like, "Do you need anything? Are you finding everything okay?" Like, she is just so sweet. She's always there to help you. She's got that positive attitude, that smile. So something working with us, some of their benefits would be self-esteem. They grow with us. We grow with them. We teach them, but they teach us just as much. They're very prideful of what they do and accomplish. The young lady on the left, she started out as a dishwasher, and I couldn't get her out of the cafeteria. She wanted to be with the kids. So I said, "Look, I can't have it. You got to go to a school where you can go and work in the cafeteria." So now she's working in the cafeteria. She gets to talk to the kids and clean off the tables and help them anytime they need that help. But just being able to get an idea of what their passion is. I'm always willing to try to find a position that that brings that out in them. Very hardworking, very above and beyond whatever you need them to do. They're always asking for more. Trustable, loyal, socializing in the community, I think really goes both ways. A lot of my staff members have really developed more patience and understanding for their needs, and then able to, I think, kind of see the kids on the other end and being able to be more patient and understanding for our special needs that are enrolled in our school district too. They develop relationships with the kids and the kids with them. It's been truly beneficial for both parties to have so many special friends in our workplace.
And, Beth, if I can jump in for just a moment, you mentioned that the lady in the pink sweatshirt really had more of an affinity for working directly in the cafeteria with the students.
Yeah.
And, that's part of what all of this is about, is getting to know the job candidates and knowing, first of all, where their interests lies and where their skills are, what type of an environment they're going to shine in. And we spend a lot of time getting to know our job candidates and do our best to place them, first of all, in the job that they want, but also in a job where they're going to be successful. So we're not sending out job candidates to any old job just to find them a spot.
Right.
Yeah. So we do work very closely with the employers, and that's an important part of that relationship that we've had. And you mentioned Sue, who's our job developer. She has worked with the school district for so long. She knows what you're looking for in job candidates, and most of the time we get a really good match. Every once in a while, it might not be so great, but we are very careful about pre-screening the candidates that we send your way, and it's led to a very good relationship over the years.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel that way from our point of view. So, so you are more of a direct hire type of a situation where, if you have an opening in culinary services, you call our job developer or me, and let us know what the position is, and we can send over job candidates. We might just have one, we might have two. I think there have been some times where we sent over more than one to interview for a position.
Yeah.
And there are times where we don't have a good match. So if we don't have somebody who we feel would be a good candidate, we're very honest about that as well. So but then next time around we might have someone. It just really depends on who we're working with at the time.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we had a few questions. I don't know, Matt, if you would want to read some.
Yeah, I put together some questions from the perspective of what an employer would be going through prior to partnering with the ARC. First one would be if they have some candidates or recruits that are brought in, would they be obligated at that point to hire them?
And the answer is absolutely not. And I know with the school system, like I said, there have been times where we may have sent over a candidate and we just didn't feel like it was a good match, or you didn't feel like it was the best person for the position. So you're interviewing a job candidate just like any other candidate that you might get off the street or from Indeed. And it's entirely your decision.
Well, it sounds like you have a very high successful placement rate though, so that's good.
We do, yeah.
Well, what if an employer encountered a performance problem after 90 days, or if they want to move them to a different position? What would that look like?
Well, call us, really is the short answer. as happened in the school system, the lady in the pink sweatshirt that moved to a different position, we were able to come in and assess the situation. We would took a look. She didn't really need many supports in order to make the switch. But if it's going to be a great deal of training, or this person's going to need, say, a couple of weeks worth of job coaching, we can apply for additional funding through our funders and get back in and have a job coach with them to help learn any new tasks. Sometimes it's a change in a job description. Sometimes it's a completely new job. Sometimes there might be a new supervisor who has different expectations. And we've encountered that as well, not so much with the school district, but it can happen anywhere. So we're able to come back in. So the answer is that just because it's been over 90 days, we do our best to support the job candidates that we place. We want to make sure they're successful.
And for companies that you can name, if you can name some, but what other companies in the Quad Cities are currently partnering with the ARC for these services?
Sure. There are quite a few actually. We have a very good working relationship with Bally's, and they are actually one of the companies that we have. They both do direct hire. We send them candidates for job openings, but we also do temporary staffing for their needs, where they have, they typically need our individuals for one day. They'll have, we call them a hot job, but when they have marketing packets that need to be assembled. So we'll bring in a group of perhaps 4 individuals, as well as the job coaches, and then we can come in and put together their marketing packets, and we'll work for several hours until that's done. We also have worked with Happy Joe's over the years. The new Ollie's store in Moline, we've had at least one candidate there. Performance Food Groups has hired some of our job candidates. Lago Marcino's and Hy-Vee.
Lots of organizations, and I think you already touched on it earlier in regards to Bally's, but if I wanted to hire more than one person at one specific time, that's absolutely something that can happen there.
Yeah, we can. And again, it gets back to, whether or not we have the right job candidate for the job. So, we might be able to send some people over to interview. And again, if it's a direct hire situation, it's always up to the employer as to, how many people they hire or which ones they hire.
Yeah. Something I just thought of, but I mean, what's like the traditional turnaround time from having the conversation to getting a candidate and then having someone placed in a position? What's that look like?
It can really vary. We our list of job candidates is in constant flux. So if we have a candidate who is ready to interview and seems like a good fit, we can send them out and they could interview sometimes the next day.
And then I'm sure I already know the answer, but who would pay the individual?
Right. So if it's a direct placement, they are hired by the employer, so they are your employee, which means that you're paying their wages, any benefits, you pay them just like any other employee would be. So they're entitled to the same rate of pay. For example, with a school district, the candidates that we send are paid the same and receive the same benefits as any other dishwasher.
Okay. And then how is pay established? How much would we pay them? Is it contingent on what we're currently paying other employees? Is it a defined amount based off the ARC itself? How's that work?
Yeah, again, it's based on the position. There's a lot of questions about that, and there's a lot in the news lately, and maybe it's just because I'm more likely to see it and notice it, but there's a lot of discussion about sub-minimum wage. And that is not something that is typical. So if you're hiring a candidate with disabilities, you pay them the same rate that you would pay anybody else in that position.
That's the questions that I thought of in advance. Meg and Jennifer, since you're both on, do you have questions for each other on this? Obviously, you two are both familiar very, very well on the whole process here.
No, I mean, I saw some pictures of some folks that have been here and we would love them back.
Right. They you both work with some of the same individuals. When they're on break at the schools and during the holiday breaks, they go over to electro-freeze and pick up extra hours over there. We have a few that like to keep busy and they just constantly work.
Wow.
I think we've lost someone, but
Yeah, well, I wanted to add, thank you, Meg, Jenny, and Jennifer, which I think you've already fallen off on this Zoom meeting here, but this was very insightful for all of the employers in the Quad Cities and our members at Great River Human Resources. This will certainly be a treat that we share with all of our members, and seeing it post on LinkedIn and various social media websites. So you're
Thanks
back
for the
with us,
opportunity.
Jennifer.
she's muted.
I was just going to add, thank you very much for participating today, Jennifer. You dropped off there for a bit, and I hope you
Yeah,
all
sorry
have a
about
wonderful day. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank